I've watched a lot of anime in my time, and I have to admit, a bunch of cafe workers who by day serve customers, but by night kill terrorists with guns in all variety, shapes, and sizes, is definitely one of the oddest but most intriguing premises that you can kick off an episode 1 with that I've seen in a long time. And, I come out of this episode, I start the episode thinking, what did I just see? And I end this episode thinking, what did I just watch? But goddamn, give me episode 2. This has been a show I've been keeping my eye on the more information that's been revealed over the past month or so. What started off as character PVs that just kind of looked like slice of life daily adventures, something that you would see in any PA work slice of life, something in that area, right? And then to see A1 tease more and more, especially with, I think, arguably one of the best poster images I've seen in a hell of a long time. Top half looks perfectly normal, and then it just looks like bloodshed chaos. And the first minute of this episode has to be some of the most pleasant killing I have ever seen in anime. And what I mean by pleasant killing is that the first minute or so, they take out like 6 people in the span of 60 to 90 seconds. And it's not in the typical like, oh, cute girls doing violent things way, but more so, it's such a peaceful looking world. They're talking about all the peace, how everything's great in Japan. And just as they're disarming the situation, the first kill is a dude who's trying to plant a bomb in a bag, most likely is going to run into a bank or something like that, cause a big explosion, and you just so casually see the girl snipe him in the middle of everywhere, or just like the numerous times you see people just taken out like that as you have this adorable voice narrating in such a vibrant and pleasant background and aesthetic for its setting. I haven't seen many shows deliver in that department too often, but leave it to Recoil to really just say, this cafe is going to be unlike anything we've seen, because what starts off as one of our characters, Takina, who decides to pull an LMG and decides to not really value civilian life in order to take care of the terrorists, gets demoted, essentially, and goes to have to work under someone who's working at a cafe. They're like the secret organization that keeps the world safe. And the idea of just seeing how she's going to have to evolve, going from daily, like, delivering coffee to the Yakuza to all the numerous random things they'll do, but then they can also deliver some insane bloodshed towards the end. I actually thought the ending of the episode was actually blood, which had me surprised because I wasn't expecting a TV anime to just have an adorable girl like Chisato just start blasting fools in the face. Turns out she was using not lethal bullets, and then she had this cool weapon that allows her to, like, basically attach people to objects. So in the case of this one dude, he got pinned to the van. But it was crazy to see, because if there's ever been a character who I think needed to chill, it's probably Takina, because she really does not value human life in the way that you would expect. She's perfectly okay having someone be the kind of target because she has a picture that might be evidence that could point to who the real terrorists were, so then she uses her as bait in order to lure out the people she needs to kill. She basically chalks it up to, well, they're after the photo, they're not gonna hurt her. But honestly, if you run a simulation 1,000 times, I think there's more than one of those simulations where that woman ends up dead. But man, just leave it to this show to start and end an episode in a pretty violent and fantastic way. But a majority of the episode, I can't be the only one who is feeling this. You're just sitting there like, what am I watching? And I can't wait for more. And I say that with complete positivity. I'm not saying what am I watching in a way of, oh, it doesn't make sense. It's completely jumping off the rails already. No, I'm saying what am I watching because there's not many shows I can compare this to. For being original, something not based on anything, it's really living up to being its own show within a matter of minutes. And I think what's going to be fun about this one is that they truly can be a slice of life. They could probably have episodes where nothing too violent happens, but the idea of the bigger mission of trying to track down the stolen weapons and hopefully get this girl promoted back up to where she was, all in the process probably teaching her a bit more of humanity and what it means to protect civilians, there's going to be some adventures that you really can't compare to in a lot of shows. And I think what really helps this show pop out, ignoring the very unique premise, is its presentation. It is a colorful, colorful show. Hell, the mid-slates that happen when the commercials play, obviously we're watching on stuff like Crunchyroll, so we don't get the commercials, but those little mid-slates you see, those are already more artistically interesting than most anime out there. But it's the general color palette with how the clothes pop off of each character. It's not like your generic red or blue or green. Everything feels like, you're almost sucked into Willy Wonka's world in a lot of ways. I loved looking at it, and I love how they did so much storytelling without actually having a lot of characters explain. Sure, eventually we get in this episode some information on why this radio tower looks like it's falling over, it's being repaired. Turns out it was actually one of our characters here who actually prevented terrorists from completely destroying it. Still ended up breaking, so now it's more so like a symbol of peace, so to speak, is what it sounds like. But even before they drop that information, you get a sense of there used to be a lot of conflict, but seemingly peace is now here. So it's interesting to see these almost like secret super soldiers go in the distance to, in the shadows to fight and keep people safe, and the general folk have no idea what's going on. I love looking at this show from minute one. The backgrounds are beautiful, the character designs really do pop. I think it helps with their wardrobe a lot because it is colorful, it is vibrant. But when you look at the more intensity-focused moments, the animation is goddamn smooth. Like, the way they would spin around and punch and kick and do all these really cool maneuvers. It has some style, man. Slice of life meets action hasn't looked this pretty in a long time, if you ask me. And I think the voice actors also do an amazing job at capturing the two different personalities. The central two, anyway. You have one who's very positive, very bubbly, but also kind of feels like could be sinister if you need her to, where you have someone who's almost like an emotionless, monotone husk who doesn't really understand human emotions the way normal people should, but clearly over the course of this show is going to open up more and more because of this kind of cafe which just feels like a big old family. I think anime in a lot of ways has the most potential to be weird out of any medium that's out there. It can be super serious, it can be super goofy, but this is one of those shows that doesn't feel like it's goofy or it's overly serious. It somehow struck a middle ground that can simultaneously kill terrorists and have cafe shenanigans and not have one overpower the other. And I have no goddamn idea how they manage this because I really can't put my finger on anything this completely reminds me of. And that has me excited for more. I was eager to check this one out because obviously I think this one just looked interesting from the poster alone. But I thought I could probably wait a few episodes and read the room, see what people are saying about it before I checked it out. But I am glad I checked out episode 1 earlier than intended because I'm excited to see where this one goes, and as long as it keeps my interest, I'm probably going to cover it week by week if the demand's there. So let me know what you thought down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. Till next time everyone, let's take care and just have a good one until the next crazy adventure.